It's Madden NFL 24, where we'll see teams who have been division rivals since 1961. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday night primetime.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I could give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
It's been a lot of fun watching him advance in his career. Many people question his ability to throw the football coming out of Mississippi State. He's conclusively answered that question. In addition, a very strong runner and an even better leader.
Prescott looks to throw right away. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And I think he was a little surprised to see the ball sitting out there like that. That's a ball he had a chance to come away with, but it winds up an incomplete pass.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Here's Prescott. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll give him a new set of downs.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Gonna run again here with Pollard. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And the Eagles with a dime look, 6 DBs on 3rd down. Prescott now. Here's a screen now for Pollard. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guys' pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Prescott. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that falls incomplete.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
He gets it to Cooks. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big play that time on a catch and run. 31 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly gave it an attempt. They had a diminutive receiver like this running through the land of giants in the middle of the field, but they couldn't find enough room to get him the football.
Pollard going to try the right side, and he'll be taken down here at about the 11. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. And his ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. Touchdown. And the Cowboys will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. The Charles here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The 2nd-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Yeah, I don't know if it's win, but if you're on off, kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. Found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Hurts. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Swift going to try up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Hurts to throw. Smith catches left side. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Hurts. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
Now a throw in the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. Quick slant to Brown. And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. DeAndre Swift taking it in from a yard out. And the Eagles are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
Boy, 2 long, sustained drives by each team to start things out. It's kind of similar to how the pitch clock has shortened baseball games. That means we'll be out of here quickly if we get a few more drives like that. We're in the 2nd quarter now, and we've only had 1 drive apiece, each of which have ended with touchdowns.
Elliott good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. 2nd drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Looking to throw. Prescott. And that's complete to Cooks. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in his first half. It's a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. Throwing. Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. Will go down as a gain of 6. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you're throwing so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Hassan Reddick in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Prescott now from the 50. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On third down, it's Prescott. He's got his target. That's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 19. Give them 22 there on the third down conversion.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the red zone now, Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Ferguson. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
Here's Prescott. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. 2nd and goal from the 1. Pollard is in. Touchdown, Dallas. Finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that makes the score 14-7. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
All right, Brandon, back to you two in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports halftime report. It was a strong first half for running back Tony Pollard. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward. Both teams making their final preparations for this second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Second down, here's Hurts. Quick throw there is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Here's Pollard again. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Yeah, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And they pick up the 1st down there with a gain of 4.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the...
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Hassan Reddick, his 2nd sack of the night.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Prescott. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
1 1st down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for the 1st time tonight. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. On 2nd down, here's the option. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a 1st down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, it's Hurts. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Oh, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event, right now, he's having his troubles.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive to about the 48-yard line.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Brings up 3rd and
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been outstanding. 7 first downs and 8 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Trying to get a big strike right there and hopefully tie this game up in the late going. But the coverage was there, and this winds up incomplete.
Pollard will take it up the gut. And some room to run now. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Play action now, Prescott. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Hassan Reddick bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Prescott.
And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. Fourth down now. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick is indeed good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that's CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. But first down, Hurts. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. But just to add that to the list of great moments for this defense today, they've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
Aubrey good with a PAT, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests. But in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And A.J. going to pick up an Eagles first down as he'll get this up to the 39. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Complete to Zacchaeus. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Hurts sets up to throw it. And this is going to be incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Well, being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on fourth down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. Kevin Byard up to make the tackle.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
From the 41, here's second down and 7. Out of the gun, a give to Pollard. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
On third down, it's Pollard. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. To throw is Prescott. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether